Hello. Welcome back, Libronauts. I'm Elise, and this is, of course, Libronauts Book Club. We are a science fiction book club that meets every month to discuss a different book out of the sci-fi subgenre, or one of the subgenres of sci-fi, I should say. This month, we read The Martian by Andy Weir. This is obviously very focused on space travel and being stranded on a planet. We've got lots of thoughts to discuss. With me, I have Yvette. She was my co-host this month. Yeah, you do not have a BookTube channel, but you do have an Instagram.
Yep.
And I think that's it, right? Okay.
Yep.
So her Instagram page is going to be linked in the description below, as well as the Instagram page for Libronauts and our Fable page. So go ahead and make sure you subscribe to all of those. Subscribe to Yvette, subscribe to Libronauts, and join us on Fable so that you can add your thoughts and your final reflection of the books that we read. Yvette, do you want to go ahead and talk about your page and your reading tastes?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm, like she said, over on Instagram as Levers Adores, and I read majority fantasy and romance and some thrillers. And I feel like sci-fi can sometimes be pretty closely linked to, like if you go to the library or something, there's like science fiction / fantasy. So they're right near each other. So, but yeah, fantasy is definitely the highest one that I read. And I'm on Instagram. It's been a minute since I've posted anything, but I'm kind of planning some stuff for fall and stuff. But yeah, I was excited I think this is the first time I have been on as a co-host for Libronauts.
Yes.
I've read a few of the books along the way, but it's real fun to be a co-host too.
Yeah, thanks for joining. You do art, right? Like I've seen you do like coloring pages, or you do like drawing on like those book pages, and I've seen you do painting. Do you have a separate Instagram for any of that?
No, I've just put that on my Bookstagram mostly. So there was like in October, I always do Inktober.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so every day of the month, there's like a prompt and you draw something related to that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did that. And so there's probably I think I only got like 20 days out of the 30, but there's like 20 days of just drawing. So you can see where October was. It was very orange. Probably do the same thing again. But yeah, I do post that sometimes. And right now I'm in Montana, so I've got some time to draw some more.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that because those were really cool to see last year.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun to do, and like for me, they're like every time I draw, I'm like, why don't I do this more? It's so therapeutic. But yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Oh gosh, you're so talented. I just don't have the patience for art. Like I don't know if I get easily bored or if I just like get distracted, but I've tried to do creative stuff like that and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't.
Yeah, I like it because it shuts down my brain a little bit, where I can just be like, like especially like really small, tedious things. That's what a lot of people don't. They want to do like bigger things, and I'm like, I really like the tiny, tedious things because my brain just shuts down. I have to focus on that.
Very cool. Alrighty. For those of you that may be watching, if you want to go ahead and let us know if you read the book and what you rated it. Hello again. Been a while since you read it, but you did love it and rated it 5 stars. Awesome. Also, let us know too if you've read by this author before. And while those are going, did you want to go ahead and do a spoiler-free synopsis for us of the book?
Ooh, spoiler-free. Okay. Spoiler-free synopsis of the book. How far can I go in before it's spoilery? I guess I would say that you've got Mark Watney, and he's been stranded on Mars. He was a group of 6 people to go to Mars, and while they were there, he was presumed dead, and the rest of the flight, his crew had to take off, emergency takeoff, and leave Mars. And so he wakes up, he's not dead, and he has to try and survive. He's trying to survive just for himself, and then slowly, you first only get his perspective, and then you get like ground control's perspective, which I think really brought like the book to another level. You have another point of view, so you've got both of their point of views, and then they all think he's dead, and all of a sudden they realize he's alive, and the rest of the book is trying to save Mark Watney, himself trying to save himself, and the ground control trying to get to him.
Yeah. Yeah, when the POV of the people like at JPL came into play, I was like, thank goodness.
Me too.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I think I messaged you. I was like, I'm at 10%. Is this the rest of the book? It's just his point of view. I was just like, I feel like I've already read everything that's going to happen in this book in 10%. And so once that came in, it really did pick up a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was a little worried.
Yeah, me too. I was like, why is this so great? And then that part came in. I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
This was your first book by him, but you've since read Project Hail Mary and a few of his short stories. Okay. Oh, I guess I have, because didn't he write, I can't remember the name of it, but there's like a
Artemis?
No, not that one, but it's on Audible, or maybe it's just Amazon in general, but it's like 6
super short.
Yeah, I can't remember which one was Andy Weir's, but I'm pretty sure he did do one, and I did read one of those. Aside from that, I did read Project Hail Mary. That was our book club pick back in January of this year. But you said this was your first book that you've read by Andy Weir.
Yeah, this was my first book reading Andy Weir. I wanted to read Project Hail Mary, but I didn't have time for that one. I couldn't also find like the physical. I mean, I could have gone to the library, I guess, but I couldn't get a physical copy in time or anything. And he's Audible exclusive. So he's a little bit more difficult to read. But I've always wanted to read Project Hail Mary because it's Lexi's, like one of her favorite books ever. And so I was like, well, I feel like I need to read that, but I still haven't read that one. But I did want to read The Martian first, since it's his first one. And there's a movie, and now Project Hail Mary will also have a movie.
Yeah. And have you seen the Martian movie?
No. So I that's why I kind of chose it, was because I hadn't read it. I hadn't seen the movie. So I had no, I kind of had an assumption of what would happen in the end, but there was no like spoilers, or like I had like nothing. I had no idea what was going to happen. So yeah, so it was great.
Good. Yeah, I have not seen the movie. I purposefully have been putting off watching the movie until I read the book.
And I plan to watch the movie at some point, find it and watch it. So
yeah, I mean, don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure I saw that it's on Max.
Oh, okay.
If you have access to that. My parents have it like through cable, so I just log into their account.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to check. I have like Amazon and I have Netflix, so I was going to see about those two.
Yeah. I feel like that is Weir's signature pacing. Wait until the audience is like, what? This is it, before moving on.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Had a lot of issues with Project Hail Mary, but it was entertaining. Yeah, Project Hail Mary, I would definitely say if you're able to do it on audio, because I feel like it does something a little extra that makes it amazing on audio.
Like noises, or it's just the narrator's good?
The narrator's really good. There is some like sound stuff that's added to it, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
So yeah, I would really recommend. Like
Okay.
I did audio in addition to reading this one physically. I feel
Mhm.
like I could have just done it physically.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like the audio necessarily did anything to add to it, but for Project Hail Mary, it definitely
Yeah.
does.
I
Mhm.
liked it because there was definite times where he gets excited,
Mhm.
and I like hearing that more than seeing it on a page. It's like easier to be like, he's like, yay, you know. And
Mhm.
he had exclamations sometimes, and Will Wheaton's always fun to listen to anyways. So
Yeah. Usually, I do ask my co-hosts if they fan casted anybody, and I
oh
know that this is already a movie,
yeah.
but I had a hard time trying to picture Matt Damon as this character, but because of the narration, the
Yeah.
narrator, I was picturing him as like a younger Martin Short.
Oh, okay. Martin Short. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Just like with how animated he was. And
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, I don't. I also can't really see Matt Damon as it, like a botanist, mechanical engineer,
Mhm.
handsome dude,
Yeah.
like who had troubles getting the ladies. We kind of said that once or something, and it's like, but well, I mean, now you got like Ryan Gosling doing, doing. I don't know what that character looks like, but he's gonna be the next
Rylan, I think is his first name.
one.
Ryland Grace, I believe. Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I don't know who would I like. I've definitely pictured somebody a little bit like nerdier, a little bit,
Yeah. Mhm.
that would be like super into botany and be like,
Mhm.
look, manure, like look at these great cells. And what was the one that you kept on talking about? The bacteria is growing in it. Like
Yeah.
you need a special somebody who's going to get excited about that.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
could see, like, Jonathan Bailey with his sexy little glasses.
Yeah, something like that actually would definitely, I could see somebody like that, a little kind of on the nerdier side, a little scholarly almost. Yeah,
Mhm. But,
that's
like, still
somebody.
kind of cute. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. A little like, yeah, because I mean, they're astronauts. They still have to be able to do a lot of physical, like
Oh,
there
yeah.
is a lot of physicality to it. So it's not like you're gonna get this little shrimp that like can't lift anything. But they're gonna have a little bit they've gone through major technical training and everything like that. But yeah, so but again, I probably wouldn't do Matt Damon for it. I mean,
Mhm.
he definitely has done like scholarly movies before, Goodwill Hunting and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
yeah, I'd have to think about that a little bit.
Yeah. Oops. Uh-oh. I always get lost in the comments. Sorry, guys.
Oh yeah, that was the
Okay.
last one.
I started The Martian in print, but then switched to audio. I think that helped me gloss over. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
If you're easily bored by all the math number stuff, the audio will help for that, for sure. Although there's one part where he starts talking about something like pirate ninjas or something like
Oh
that.
heck yes, I love that.
That was kind of funny.
He's like, I'm gonna come up. That's too long to say. I'm gonna come up with my own unit of measurement. Pirate ninja. I was like, yes, awesome.
When they announced the casting of Matt Damon, I had a hard time, but he pulled it off. Oh,
Yeah,
good.
that's what I kind of figure. I'm
Yeah,
like, he's a great actor. You're not gonna be let down by him.
yeah, yeah. I pictured someone older for Grace. I don't know if I pictured somebody older, but I definitely didn't picture Ryan Gosling. Like that was it
For that
took
one.
me a second to like adjust my expectations when I saw that he was going to be playing him. Oh yeah, for sure.
I have
For
no
sure.
idea what that character is. Is he kind of a funny character, or is he serious? Like, what is he personality wise?
Maybe not as goofy and funny as Mark in The
Okay.
Martian, but
Yeah.
very similar. I mean, like the writing style is very much the same. So there is
Okay.
humor, but
Yeah.
he's like a middle school science teacher or
Oh,
something.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I like Ryan Gosling has done like a bunch of not indie films, but like really interesting films that I've watched that I'm like, this guy's a really good actor. He's not just like a pretty face. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be a good one. When does it come out? Like January or March or something? I can't remember.
Oh, is it that far away? It feels like it's close.
Maybe. I don't
They've
remember.
already changed. I was looking on Audible, like what other books he's written, and like on Audible, they've already changed the cover of Project Hail Mary to his face.
Mm-hmm.
Like, interesting. Yeah. Project Hail Mary. Randomized, was that the one you read? That was like a short story.
Maybe. Is it like purple and blue?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Yep. I couldn't tell you what it's about, but I read it a couple years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I just whacked myself in the chin. What are 3 words that you would use to describe this book?
I had said technical, brash, and potato.
No.
Just potato.
Very fitting.
Yeah.
For me, very sciencey, unnecessary, and we'll get to that soon.
Yeah.
And boring. So if that tells you anything about how I felt about the book, those are my words. Okay, so at this point, guys, we are going to be getting into some spoilers. So if you've not yet read the book, don't want to be spoiled, maybe head out, come back later once you've read it. But if you're good to go, then definitely stick around. He's the cool middle school. Oh yeah. There's always like that one cool. I didn't have a cool science teacher. The cool teacher when I was going to school, he was a language arts teacher. Yeah. He was like so cool. He had like a ponytail and a limp, and he was like, yeah. Yep. I can't remember why, but yeah, he was like,
extra cool.
Yeah, for sure. He had Riz. That wasn't a word back then, but he had
it. my cool teacher was geography. Oh no, history.
Oh,
he was the cool teacher. Was the history teacher.
That's a good subject to be the cool teacher on. Probably made it fun.
We learned about like the trenches of World War II by playing dodgeball.
Really? That's fun.
It was great. Intense space gardening. Oh, I like that.
Perfect. I love it.
Yeah.
I guess you could also maybe say like, I don't want to be like rude, but like waste in the sense of like human waste.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk of that.
Yeah.
In this.
I was also like, whenever they said what could go wrong, you knew it would. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how to summarize that into one word.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Alrighty. So overall, without like, we're going to save your rating and my rating for the very end, but overall, whoopsies, what were your thoughts of this book?
So like I said, the first 10%, I was pretty nervous. I was like, if it goes like this, I can't sustain any interest. But once it became the command portion of it, one of my favorite movies as a kid was Apollo 11. And so it was very reminiscent of that, except for with much more MacGyver feel to it. It's like, yeah, Apollo 11 meets MacGyver. And then so, like, he's just doing, there's so much random stuff happening and you're like, is science even a thing anymore? But because that got brought into it, I ended up actually enjoying it. And once the team got brought into it as well, I thought it was really interesting. I didn't love, like I said, a few of those where it was just like talking so much. He's just saying the word waste all the time, but with not that word. So he keeps on saying it over and over. And I was like, I get it. I liked that the book didn't shy away from what it would actually be like on Mars. Like, this is actually what they would have to be doing and what they have to do. So I do like that they weren't just like, I waited for it to rain on Mars and collected it. It's like, it doesn't rain on Mars, like, or something really silly. Like, I drilled a hole and found some water. I was the first one to find water on Mars, so, something like that. I liked that they had that aspect, but there was like, sometimes I was just like, I get it. This feels like a man book.
Yeah.
They need to say it a few more times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I definitely agree. Yeah, he just like would go on and on and on and like talking like really fast about it.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I mean, I don't know. I liked the humor. I think that was necessary, because could you imagine if this book had zero humor, how dry
it would be so dry. Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to finish it.
Mm-mm. Yeah, that all. Like I said, that 10%, even though he would kind of like, it's like, I made a mistake. Like, this is not going well. I don't know what anybody saw in this.
Yeah. Yeah. But overall, I think it was a mistake to have read Project Hail Mary before reading this, because I loved Project Hail Mary.
Yeah.
And I think that compared to The Martian, that one is just like elite, and it will be a favorite book for like the rest of my life.
Okay.
This one, not so much. And I feel like that's not fair to the book, because I'm sure if I would have read this like when it first came out, I would have been like, wow, this is great.
Yeah.
But having loved Project Hail Mary, assuming I would feel the exact same reading this, that just, I put it on a pedestal and I was disappointed.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. That's kind of,
I had not similar because I hadn't read Project Hail Mary, but just similar because it's so many people talk about it so highly. So I was like, went into it just being like, this is going to crush it. And like, it was okay.
Yeah, I think on Goodreads it has like a 4.4 rating.
Does it really?
I want to say, yeah, it's pretty high.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't remember what Project Hail Mary is. So I don't know like which one has a higher rating.
Yeah. Look. Project, yeah, I mean, 4.4 is pretty fantastic.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Yeah, it's 4.42.
Oh, okay, cool.
Project Hail Mary has 4.5.
Oh, okay. So I guess that makes sense. People like that one a little bit more.
Also, why does it say below it, The Martian #1?
I think there is another book, but I feel like I can't remember what it is.
Oh, okay. It's like a
prequel, I think.
A prequel called Diary of an Ass Can.
That makes sense, because when I finished this, it finished the pages. Yeah. Then the audiobook kept going. And that was
it's an ebook. It's 4 pages. Okay. Yeah. We must have heard it. We read it.
Well, I stopped. I was like, I'm good. I don't need to listen to this.
Okay, that's what I was saying. You needed the last page because Lewis asks him to go back to space. Did you read that page?
I didn't. Okay, so that makes sense, because when you said that, like, about going back, and this was a conversation Yvette and I had like before we came live.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't remember that, but okay.
I breezed through this thing.
That makes sense now. Gotcha. All right. So some accuracy did get sacrificed for plot, but I liked that real rocket scientists were beta. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That is good. He does. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say that was like a positive for me. Whereas like sometimes they just like gloss over some of the stuff. And I'm like they're going through a lot more than just this. And so I did like that, but it was, some of the stuff was just ad nauseum.
Yeah. In the beginning of Project Hail Mary, I didn't notice that he said it in The Martian, but Project Hail Mary, he says something about like, this is fun, like the science is probably not accurate or something to that effect. But he didn't say that at the beginning of this one that I noticed.
Oh, okay. He probably got backlash for
maybe
the Martian. They're like, this is not. He's like, okay, it's a book. It's science fiction. It's not real.
Right. Okay, yep. So this short story prequel. Okay, yep. Alrighty, so Mark Watney, what did you think of him as a character?
I liked him. I did enjoy his POV, but not quite as much as other ones.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. Like there's no way that you dislike him,
right?
But it's hard to like want to go back to listening to him because it's very. I mean, everything he's doing is just like survival. Okay, what do I need to do now? What do I need to do now? Things are good. I'm planting soil. I'm planting soil. 10 days later, I'm planting, you know? So his stuff got repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
But like that, so that made it hard to be excited to hear from him again. But I will say, I think one of the really good parts, a favorite part of mine was when they were talking about like having the team together and doing like psych evals ahead of time, and they specifically chose him because he had this like positive energy. He had this, you know, he could be fun even in the face of adversity.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did like that where and I also liked that even though he was kind of, like I said, mine was brash and everything, and he was kind of jokey and stuff, there was times where he like when he got, I think it was, I forget what it was called, the little robot that he could communicate with
Pathfinder.
Yes, Pathfinder. When he got that working, he was like, I jumped up and down, I was so excited, then I fell to my knees and I cried. And I was like, I liked that because it showed, I mean, you would just be so, after that much time, you just break down and cry. So I liked getting that. And then sometimes where he would just be like, I'm gonna die, and then the next day he's like, okay, it's not as grim as I thought. And like I did like those where, or even flip flop. He's like, I'm doing great, and the next day he's like, I'm fucked. It's just like, okay. It's just, I did enjoy that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did like how mentally stable he seemed, because if I were alone for that long, like I'm not even a people person. Mm-hmm. I like my personal space. Right. I like my solitude. But if I were actually alone that long, I would probably go insane. Mm-hmm. So the fact that at no point did he seem to have a mental breakdown, and he just he just kept going, and like he would have a setback and he would just keep pushing forward. Yeah. I liked that. So for anybody to be stranded on a planet by himself, like he was kind of the perfect person for it.
Yeah. They even like said that they were just like, how is he still doing this? Because he had sitcoms and some music that he didn't even like. And so it's just like, and after a while they started saying how long it was. I forget how long he was on there. He was over like a year and a half.
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
Before he got saved. Mm-hmm. Like that is so much alone time. And a lot of just like stressful situations. And okay, something has gone wrong again. How do I fix it? Like not having any, that's the other thing, not having stability. People need stability in their lives, and to like, there are some people who do thrive on instability. Mm-hmm. My charger unplugged accidentally. I gotta put it in. My screen went dark and I was like, oh no. Okay, it's happy again. But yeah, some people thrive on adversity, but he didn't seem like that type of person. So like, I like stability, and I want to be able to be like, okay, coast a little bit, not have to worry about things. So yeah, I will say very resourceful.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Kept a very positive attitude throughout.
Yeah. And just like how smart he was, just
Yeah.
the ability to know what to do in certain situations or how to problem solve all these
Hmm.
scenarios that like we could probably never imagine having to encounter.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
he is they kept on saying he was an engineer. Well, he was a mechanical engineer. There's many different types of engineers, and he was doing all of them. He wasn't
Mhm.
just doing the mechanical side. He was doing like the chemical side, and he was like, and that's not even engineer. Chemical side is like chemist. Like he was doing all of those things as well. I mean, I was trying to keep at the beginning. I was trying to keep up on stuff, and I was like, I have no idea the oxygenator, and it takes out, and then we're gonna put the H and the O together, and I was like, what? So there was just so much going on, and he kept it all in his brain.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Keisha, hi. Wanted to have time to read this so bad. It's just been so busy over here. Haven't read a book in 3 weeks. Girl, you've been busy. I get it. Love you both. Love you, Keisha.
Hey, Keisha.
I think his character was uniquely suited to get through this.
Oh
Yes,
yeah, for sure.
100%. Mhm.
Yeah.
There was one scene where he acknowledged that he was depressed, but it was quick. Okay.
He always skated by it though. He would
Mhm.
just be like, okay, feeling kind of depressed, move on.
Yeah, like, recognize it,
Uh-huh.
but
Didn't
resilient
wallow
enough
in it.
to exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he multiple times like brought up that he didn't blame his crew.
Mhm.
And like some people would,
Yeah.
be like, why didn't you at least take my body? You
Yeah.
left me there.
I mean, that was pretty admirable too, and, like, he that was one of the first things that he
Yes.
said when he was able to communicate, like, "This is
Hmm.
nobody's fault.
Yeah.
I would have done the same thing," and as soon as he was able to get a message to Lewis, she was the main
Yeah.
person, right?
Yeah. She's the captain.
Yeah, like, he wanted her to know so badly, "I do not
Yeah.
blame you."
Yeah.
Yeah. Stop, you're making me feel more positive about this book than I did initially. I'm
Yeah.
starting to reconsider my rating.
We'll get it bumped up a half star by the end.
My husband's degree is in mechanical engineering, but only because they didn't have a computer programming degree program at the time.
Oh,
Nice.
okay. That's
Yeah, I
cool.
feel like any type of engineer. Oh, so he's actually a software engineer. Nice. Yeah, any type of engineer, like the capacity of your brain to like absorb information and just
Yeah.
learn all the things is
Yeah.
amazing. So good for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the title, did you at any point feel like it was misleading or
Oh,
did that not really occur to you?
no, because I mean, technically he was an alien to that planet.
Mhm.
So I just always thought he was the Martian because he was on a what is it called, a something planet? I can't think of the word. He was on a different area that's not from his homeland. And
Mhm.
so yeah, I kind of just was assuming that he was the Martian because he was on Mars,
Mhm.
um, and because he's a Mars, he's a Martian.
Yeah. So I think initially that's kind of what I thought. But then when I was looking at ratings for people who rated the book similarly to me,
Oh,
they
okay.
they brought up something about how they felt like the title was misleading because they're like,
Mhm.
I was expecting him to come
Alien?
into contact with a Martian. And I'm like, you
Oh.
know what? Yeah, because throughout this entire book, Yvette, I was like, something exciting has got to happen because it was just so like da da
Uh-huh.
da 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 da, and then like, oh, something will happen, but oh, quick resolve and da 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 da, and like all the way to the end. I'm like, nothing is happening. So I was just praying that something exciting would happen. And once I was looking at that review, I was like, that's what I was hoping would happen is that
Yeah.
he would come into contact. Like he's so lonely and,
Oh.
like, if there is life on this planet or
Yeah, yeah.
anywhere nearby, like, they'd probably be like, "Huh, like, who is this guy? Can we help him out?"
Oh, I never even considered that. I thought for sure it was just gonna be like a one-man show. I was actually worried it was gonna be a one-man show.
Mhm.
Um, And because he's like, and he talked about even being, one of my favorite parts was him being like, you know, maritime law states that, you know, the HAB is American based. And so when I go into that, and then when I go into the rover, also American based. But when I go onto there, I own it. Like I thought, and then he was gonna go steal something, and he's like, "I am a pirate." I was like,
Yeah.
"Yes!" Was one of my favorite parts. But that was how I interpreted it from the beginning. Was like, he's on Mars, he's living there, he's a Martian, you know. So I guess I can understand that, where it's just like having ET and stuff would just be fun. But I wasn't expecting any I thought of it more as a, like I said, Apollo 11, which is very similar to this. So I don't know if did you ever watch that as a kid with Tom Hanks?
Probably, but I don't
It
remember.
is so good. I loved it so much. But if you don't like this book, then you might not like this, because it is very like fact based. Well, this one, it's a true story too.
Yeah.
So it's very fact based, and it's very like just like the mission, and like another bad thing happened. How do we surmount that? And like that type of thing, where that's what this kind of was.
Yeah. Okay. I think the book blurb was pretty clear. Probably. Mars, a
I
freak
don't read
accident.
the book blurb, so
I know enough going into it, but like I try to go in kind of blind. Like I don't want to know too much.
Yeah.
But and then I got disappointed, so I guess that's my fault.
That is your fault. No, I had that happen. I think I brought it up before, but I had that happen where I was reading a book, and then like, I don't know, maybe 20 or 30 pages in, somebody died, and I was really liking the character. I was like, what? And then I looked at the back of the book. It was like, this person dies. I was like, oh, okay.
But that's kind of cool though, because I mean, sad that you were grown, like that person
Oh,
was
I
grown
was
on you,
so
but
thrown. I was
to
like,
have
I
a
can't believe you
twist that early on, yeah.
Yeah, like, because otherwise people, you know, I was getting attached already and everything. It was kind of not really fun, but it was better that way because I was already attached, and it's more heart-wrenching.
Yeah, exactly. Alrighty, so did you agree with the fact that once JPL, I can't remember what that stands for, but it's like a sector of NASA, when they found out that Mark was alive, they did not tell his crew, which were still on their way back to Earth. Like, did you agree with that? Or you did agree? Like, why?
Who's that with you?
Oh, this is Atlas. Come here.
Oh, Atlas. Is this the husky?
It is. Come here.
Aw, Atlas.
Come here. Look at the peoples.
Oh, yes. That's awesome.
He wants to go for his walk, but that's Dad's chore, and he's not home yet.
So for that, no, I did not agree at all with them not telling him, and especially not telling them that long. I forget how many days it was that they held off on it. If it had just been like a day or two while they process things, or like a little bit while they just were like, hey, let's like think about this, like how are we going to tell them, those types of things. Yeah, I can understand that maybe, but the fact that they waited so long for like, and the one guy was saying because, oh, it's a morale thing, we don't want them to be sad that they left him. I'm like, they thought they left him. I mean, I guess they thought they left him dead and they were sad. They thought, but they did leave him alive. But there was like, then there's always hope, even if the hope is very minimal, even if there's no path forward. Just having somebody alive is hope enough sometimes for people. And so I was very annoyed with the one guy being very bureaucratic and just being like, oh, we want to keep their morale up. And it's like, no, you need to tell them, because no matter what, they deserve to know that.
Yeah, I was also very annoyed. And this was probably like my biggest complaint because they didn't tell the crew when they were closer to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then ultimately, they ended up having them turn around to go back and get him anyway.
Yes, but didn't they have to? I could not get how they got him. They had to get the booster from China.
Yeah.
Did they go back to get the booster? I thought they had to kind of go back to Earth. I thought they had to go get it from Earth.
Did they?
I couldn't
That
quite.
would make sense and make me less angry about
Yeah,
it.
I was pretty sure that's what kind of happened was because I thought the same thing immediately. I was just like, they're going to have to rescue him anyways.
Mhm.
Tell them now. And then, and then they didn't. And then, lo and behold. But I think,
Alice.
I think they needed to do it. They needed more food
Mhm.
and they needed the booster. And so they had to go back near Earth to get
Okay.
it. I think that's right.
That would make sense. And like I said, that would make me feel a little less bitter about it. Okay. One
Yeah.
moment. I need to put him in his room.
Okay.
1 second. Okay, how do I turn my camera off? Okay. 1 second.
Yeah. Hmm. Ooh, you said something over here. Jet Propulsion Laboratory. I think they're a private subcontractor. Oh, that was the name of it. JPL. Jet Propulsion Laboratory. But they mutinied to get it. Oh, but what did she say? I was just reading the comments for She had JPL, Jet Propulsion
Yes.
Laboratory.
Thank you.
That private sector.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then they mutinied to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the word that she used though? That she it's only a mutiny if you go against the captain. They did something else.
Yeah.
I forget what she called it. I was like, that's funny.
Um,
Right towards the end. I'll have to look it up later.
okay.
But
Yeah, that sounds familiar, but I can't think of it.
yeah. Yeah. Mutinies against the captain versus like if they do it against the people. I forget.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Um, okay, where okay. Okay, so I guess with that kind of reframed,
Mm-hmm.
then a secondary complaint then could be if they had told them earlier, the crew could have been involved.
Yeah, there's more brain power.
Yeah, in
They're
like
out
how
there.
to save him.
Yeah. What
Mhm.
if they could have at least gotten communications going again? What if they
Mhm.
could have, there's other things they could have maybe been doing.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I was just like, bring them on board. They were just living Mars.
Mhm.
What did they say? 18 people had visited Mars. And I was like, I think that's what they said. Yeah, because they've had that they were the third one, so
Mm,
six, and they were the six.
yeah.
And so I was like, you've had a total of 18 people. You could have had 5 of those 18 at least be part of the brains in it and everything. So I thought it was in poor taste, that one guy. And then finally that one guy just got fed up and it was just like told him.
Yeah.
I was like, nice. I liked that.
Yeah. Okay, so this was very much a survival story. At any point, did you think Mark wasn't going to make it?
No. Just because it's a book,
Yeah. Mhm.
I was just like, they're not going to be like, and then he died. It wouldn't make a very good book. But there were definite times where I was just like, okay, okay, it was always a little bit like, I guess what I would say is wasn't a time I thought that he wouldn't survive. There were times that I thought, how the heck did you survive?
Mm-hmm.
There was more of those times where like something happened. I was like, what? Like
Yeah.
when there was like a tear in the hap, I think, and he got
Like
like
collapsed or something?
smashed, and I was like, how did he even survive that? Like there was multiple times I thought that where it was just like, how is he surviving any of this? He's walking around on Mars. It
Mm-hmm.
was just like, and then he was talking about like putting some sort of thing and like gluing it down. I don't even know what was happening. I was like, I understand none of this right now. But when that did happen, his like the glass broke,
Mm-hmm.
and then he talked about like what he put in place of it, and it was like material almost.
Mm-hmm.
And he just like bonded it to it, and then he used like a camera, so he couldn't see through, but he used a camera to be able to see.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I don't even know like how you're doing any of this.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he like left Mars and they were like, you're gonna go out in a convertible. I was like, what? You just had to suspend a little disbelief there.
Yeah, for sure. So the the vibe of the book, like the way it was going, I thought that he was going to survive.
Mhm.
However, there was a part of me, I was honestly hoping that he wouldn't, because one, it seemed more likely that he wouldn't, like that would be more believable. And two, like I was kind of hoping once the crew found out and they ended up heading back to get him, he eventually lost communication because the Pathfinder got
Yeah.
like
Fried.
yes, thank you.
Yeah.
So he lost all communication with Earth. Um, I was hoping that they would kind of think like, oh, he's still fine. He's still fine. He just something happened. He can't communicate with us. And like they would get there and he would have died like
Mhm.
however many souls ago.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping for something like that. And actually I read a book fairly recently. I don't want to say like when because I don't want to give anything away.
Mhm.
And it had one of those endings where you think it's
Mhm.
going to turn out and then boop, the end and you're like, "What?" I
Yeah.
was kind of hoping for something like that because, like I
That's
said, I kept hoping and hoping that something exciting was gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah. That seems more like a thriller type ending to me than
Yeah,
a sci-fi,
yeah.
where it's like sci-fi they're trying to keep that hope and everything like that a little bit more. I mean, sometimes they aren't. They do get very real, but yeah,
Mhm.
I feel like that definitely seems like a thrillery twist to it and be like, and he was dead.
That's very true.
Yeah. Although it would be really interesting for him to be dead and then them like take home all of his logs and everything and
Yeah,
then go through it.
that's true.
Yeah.
That'd be kinda cool too, like, that's the only way that we're reading that is because it was what's the word I'm looking for?
Recovered.
Thank you, recovered. Yep.
Yeah.
There were a few points that I wondered if Weir would go for that ending, but
Mhm.
that was early on, and I had no reference point for what kind of writer Weir was.
That's true. Yeah.
I think you're right, though. I think hope is a good term.
Yeah.
I feel like that is kind of an underlying theme.
Yeah. It
And
definitely was.
yeah.
Where like just I also really liked the ending where he said humans inherently want to help people.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I like how he put it. He's like, yeah, you get a few dicks out there. I was like, yeah. But like inherently, like he was like, there's a train crash. People go to give blood.
Mhm.
There's Hurricane Katrina was one when I was growing up that was like so many people donated like
Mhm.
so much stuff. And it was a lot of the stuff that I remember we made bags of like toothpaste, toothbrushes, deodorants. So like they were
Mhm.
like bags for them to just, survive on. And so I really liked that sentence because he was like, these people spent like millions of dollars on me. Like the Chinese gave away their booster that like
Mhm.
all these, he's like, why would they do that? And it's because people want to help people. And I was like, really like that. That was
Yeah.
nice.
That is so true, because like him being one person and having
Mhm.
all of that effort
It was just
across
like
multiple.
a way for humanity to come together for
Yeah.
one thing
Mhm.
and to have so much to drive them and the hope and everything of it. So I
Mhm.
really liked that sentiment that he had at the end. I was like,
Mhm.
yeah.
I like that. Dang it. Yep, it went up a star.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So you mentioned, and now that we know that it was actually part of the short story,
Yeah.
um, but they were talking about, well, you say, because I don't
Yeah,
know
I
what was
didn't realize it was part of the short story because otherwise people wouldn't realize this. But yeah,
Mhm.
in the last page, he meets up with Lewis. They are at a burger joint, and she says, she's no longer part of that company anymore. They've basically retired her.
Mhm.
She's a retired captain, colonel. I can't remember which, but she's retired, and she gives him her card, and she's now working for a different, like a private sector that is going to. I think what I got was that they're going to have like space hotels. And so you go to space and it's like $2,000 and you stay in space. And it's kind of like luxury, and they would take care of it and everything. He's like, I don't want to go back to space. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm never going back again. And she's like, she said something where she said, I bet every single night, I know you go out every single night and you look up at Mars. And she's like, tell me I'm wrong. And he's like, are you like watching me right now? And he's like, no, I don't want to do that. And she's like, okay, I'll leave my card. And then he says something to the effect of, oh, I don't know how her card got into my pocket. I meant to leave it on the table and I'm going to throw it away. And I'll just put it over here just in case. And then the end of it is him going back outside and looking up at Mars again. And he's like, yeah, he does do that. So would you ever go back? And obviously we haven't been to space, but like a similar question, would you ever get on an airplane again after an airplane crash, or after, I was saying the cruise ship that went on its side,
Mhm.
people survived that. I wonder if they would ever get on a ship again. So mine was, would you ever go into space after something so traumatizing as that, or would
Right.
you even go into space in the first place? I don't know if I would. But if it was something like space, like he went through, no, I would not. I would
Right.
definitely not. But if it was, I don't know about if it was a airplane, because that is such a useful mode of transportation. And
Mhm.
my thought would be, all right, like what is the chances of a airplane having a crash is it's very, very low.
Mhm.
So I was like, if it was, I've already had that in my life. So the chance of it happening twice are even lower,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
But space, I feel like it's a high probability no matter what you do.
Yeah.
How about you?
Um, I guess like would I go to space the first time, like the hotel thing,
Oh,
was
okay.
that like in space or is it like
I
on the
think it,
moon or
it seemed like it was like in space. It was right towards the end, so I didn't quite catch it all, but it was like it sounded like it was going to be in space, kind of like how like
Earth
satellites just kind
or
of,
something?
yeah, something kind
Okay.
of orbiting like that.
That'd be kind of cool. Like it'd be terrifying, but I'd
Yeah.
probably try it. But if
Yeah.
I had gone through something as traumatic as what he did,
Mhm.
I don't know, because
Yeah.
my only frame of reference that I can think of is getting bit by a dog
Mhm.
and falling wearing rollerblades. The
Mhm.
rollerblades, I refuse to wear rollerblades. Like, I'm like, I fell. I
Yeah.
didn't enjoy that. I'm never
Uh-huh.
wearing rollerblades again. But when I was younger, I was like at this farm doing horseback riding lessons, and I had to go into the barn to grab something.
Uh-huh.
and they had like a golden retriever or like a yellow lab or something.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what her issue was, but she had something weird with her, and she like I was just walking past her and she like reached out for me and like bit my hand,
Oh
and
my
like
gosh.
it bled really like a
Yeah.
lot, and it was bruised and swollen for
Uh-huh.
like a week or two. But I'm not traumatized by
Yeah.
that in the sense like I'm afraid of dogs or anything, and I
Yeah.
wasn't after
Interesting.
that. So
Uh-huh.
that was kind of more traumatizing, or would have been, than
Mm-hmm.
falling on while wearing rollerblades.
Yeah.
Yet, so like I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, because like their whole like lives are surrounded around getting to be astronauts and
Yeah.
everything. To kind of hang that up afterwards sometimes can be really difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't think I would. But like I said, if it was space, I don't think I would do it again. There's just too much probability of it going wrong
Yeah.
versus, like I said, like an airplane or something like that. I'd
Mhm.
probably get on an airplane again or get on a boat again.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd probably be more afraid of a boat, honestly, because like I'm terrified of sharks.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I'm
I
like
love sharks.
convinced wherever I'm at in the ocean, there's gonna be a shark and it's gonna think I'm a seal. 100%.
That's funny.
So I kind of already, I guess, spoiled my thoughts on this, but
Okay.
did you think that this book would end the way that it ended up going?
Yeah, I think, yeah, I did because, like I said, from the beginning, I was like, they're gonna have to save him,
Mhm.
right? Like, they're not gonna have an entire new mission go all the way up there to get him when there's already people up there.
Mhm.
So that was kind of what I was expecting. I did like how it happened and everything, how it was kind of, um, you know, that it was janky to the last degree, just like everything else that had happened to him, that he has to do it with like no windshield and all this stuff. I thought that was so much fun. Um, like I said, had to suspend my belief on it, but it was fun.
Mhm.
So yeah, I also, they did have the one mission that failed. That was the only time I was very surprised.
Mhm.
Was they were going fast, 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 and trying to get this food up to him, and they forgot that something turned into a liquid, and then the liquid sloshes, and it wasn't prepared for it to slosh against it, and that made it, explode basically. I
Mhm.
thought that was really interesting. I mean, it was definitely stuff, anything bad that could happen was kind of happening, but that one, I was like, that really puts them in such a desperate situation where they're like, yeah, we'll get you food, no problem, and so I thought that part was a good, I think it was in the middle-ish. I thought
Mhm.
it was a good like midpoint, because then they had to like restart all over what they were gonna do. And that's when they brought in the old team. I was like, duh.
Mhm.
But yeah, I liked how it ended.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
also liked that the ending was just him being rescued,
Mhm.
that it wasn't like we got, like sometimes I read this one book where I thought it was going to be all about the rescue, and the rescue happened halfway through, and then the other half of it was just about the trauma. And I was
Mm.
like, love reading about that. So I was glad that it was mostly just about the rescue, like about all that survival skills and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was funny, like, when he was rescued and, like, I think initially they were hugging him and then they backed off, and they
Yes.
said he smelled like a skunk,
A pooped
something
on
else.
skunk,
Yeah,
something
like
like that. A sock.
yeah, sitting on, like, a pile of gym socks or something
Yeah.
like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Ooh."
Yeah. Again, like I liked the realism of that they like reminded you he reeked. I
Yeah.
was like,
Yes,
yeah.
it is. It's been, like, a year and a
Although,
half.
although wait, wasn't he taking baths? He like got a bubble bath
He
going on.
did, because when he hurt his back,
Yeah, but he
yeah.
was in, but he definitely was in, that was a good part too. I thought that was fun.
Mhm.
But he was in that rover for like, I forget how many days. So that makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
he was in that rover for a month or something.
Yeah.
And having to go to the bathroom in it and then throw it out and stuff. Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah,
Yeah.
that would be rough.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be really rough.
Yeah.
I did like though, and you've kind of touched on this a few times, how real things
Yeah.
seemed, and like the fact that he had access to like Vicodin, and like he's like, I'm taking the Vicodin, like
Yeah.
I'm in pain. Yeah.
Yeah. I did like that. But I also liked that he was like, I'm taking the Vicodin, but I'm not going to be like, he didn't do it often.
Right.
And he didn't become a junkie or something like that.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, some mentalities would be like, I'm in a terrible situation. I'm going to take it from the beginning. This is going to make me chill out, and then I'm going to die. You know? So, like, he used it in emergency situations, and he knew to use it.
Yeah. Did it ever talk about what like the level of gravity was on Mars?
I
I don't
feel like
remember.
they did, because they were talking about how the rover had to be weighed down enough, and that's why they needed to make his thing that was going back into space light enough. Like, they had to get rid of a bunch of stuff so it could be get into orbital.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember what it was. I think it's less than the moon, but more than Earth.
Okay.
Maybe. I can look it up.
That's true.
Mars gravity.
I was relieved that they didn't pair Watney and Park romantically. Who was Park? Was she the one that discovered that he was still alive? Or was she one of the members? For some reason, Park is not sticking out in my mind.
There's Josephine or Jocelyn? No, what was her name?
Johansson?
Johansson, thank you. Mm-hmm. There's Johansson and Beck.
Okay. So
yeah, Mindy. She was the one that first reached out to him.
Yeah.
Got it.
She's like, hey, he's still alive, y'all.
Yeah. Like, by the way, I got a picture. Okay. Okay, so that's Mars and a moon. Oh, okay. I think Mars is actually more than the moon by a lot.
So, like, we'd be heavier on Mars?
No, lighter.
Oh, okay.
So it's saying like, has the that is approximately 38% of Earth's surface gravity, meaning you would weigh about 38 pounds on Mars for every 100 pounds on Earth.
Oh.
So way lighter.
Yeah.
Versus the moon is, where did the moon go? It was like 16. It was like you'd weigh 1/6 of what you weigh on the moon. 1/6 of what you weigh? Really? 1/6 is way more than about 1/6, meaning you would weigh about 1/6 of your Earth weight. Well, that seems more than
Mars?
Than Mars. Because like 38 out of 100 is like, I'll have to do math later. Like, I could probably just be like, which has less gravity, moon or Mars? I'll say that.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. It heard me or something. Okay. I was like, this isn't adding up. Okay. The moon has less gravity than Mars.
Okay. So we'd be lighter on
the moon.
Okay.
And then Mars. So I think it goes Earth, you're the heaviest. Then Mars.
Mars,
The
then
moon.
the moon. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was kind of thinking, because they weren't like, whenever he was outside, he wasn't like floating away.
Floating. Yeah,
He
or like bouncing.
he wasn't talking about the bouncing. I feel like if he could bounce, he would have told us that he could bounce.
Yeah.
He's not a man to not tell us that.
And then this is one that we've kind of touched on a little bit already, but did you think this book was believable? What worked for you and what didn't?
So, no, not believable.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I guess I had to be like, okay, this is in a world that you're going to Mars. If it's in a world that you're going to Mars, maybe it's believable. But like from the get-go, I was like, we can't go to Mars. So so I was like not very believable. And then just like things where, like I said, when his face plate shattered and like there was a leak coming in, I was like, wouldn't you just immediately die? I don't think it's like you can let in a little bit of it. Maybe that's just me. But I guess I just don't know enough about the atmosphere and stuff. He did kind of touch a little bit about how that atmosphere, I forget what it is. Is it nitrogen, a lot of it, or like that you can the human body can take in a little bit of it at a time, but it like after a certain amount of time you die, like a minute basically. So maybe that's why he was able to do it with a slow leak. But yeah, like the faceplate breaking, him like, I don't know, like gluing together something, I was very confused. And then like leaving in a convertible, very confused. But they did it in such a fun way. And then also sometimes just a very authoritative way of what was going on, where it's just like he spewed out so many numbers that he's like, let me tell you how this would work and blah, 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 blah. So it's kind of like, yeah, I believe you, dude. Sure. Yeah. You seem to know what you're talking about, you know? Yeah. So there was like a little bit where I was just like, yeah, just like go with it. But overall, it worked for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like pressure would be an issue. Like if there was a leak of any kind.
Like the air pressure.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking. But, and I'm not convinced that you'd be able to grow potatoes.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
I can, but like inside of a, it was like inside an area. It's not like he's going outside digging holes.
Right. So like,
I think they do grow stuff in like the not satellites, the Hubble or whatever. I think they are able to grow things.
I guess if like the environment is perfect, which he did a lot of work to try to make it.
Yeah. I mean, he talked about the humidity, like making sure it got recycled. He talked about like he was a botanist. I did like that he was a botanist, and so he's talking about just having the germs in there is what helps them. I also liked how he was just like, what I'm gonna do with the potatoes is throw them outside because they just freeze right up. I was like, oh, okay, that's a good way. Because I was thinking that I was like, he's gonna have all these potatoes. What is he gonna do with these potatoes? You know. So I did like that he did that. And I mean, he wouldn't have survived if it hadn't been for that Thanksgiving idea, which I thought was interesting, you know, because you do need something that has like that live that can have that little eye on it or something. And I wonder if there's like, he had to have chosen potatoes specifically, if there's like any other sprouting vegetable that he could have survived on, or if it like, because potatoes have a certain calorie intake and everything, it had to be potatoes.
Yeah. And I mean, they are pretty filling. I guess the only other
also very hardy, which is the whole point of like the famine in Ireland, and then they had potatoes, and Idaho just can grow them. They have an excess amount of potatoes, so it made sense that like they chose that one because of how hardy they are. So that one for me actually wasn't that hard to believe. It was just like, it was some of the other things that I was like, what?
Yeah. I would have like never thought of the bacteria aspect. So like,
yeah, exactly. To me, it's just like water, soil, sunlight is the only things I would have thought of.
Yeah.
but he was like, you got to get the bacteria. It's happy in there. I was like, oh, never thought once about that.
Right. Based on what the beta readers said, it was pretty believable. Interesting. Okay. That's good to know. The shuttles usually had botany experiments, and I'm sure they've been doing that stuff on the ISS. Okay. It makes me think of Wally.
Yes, I thought of Wally.
The plant and put it in the boot and take
I
it up
was
in space.
really hoping, honestly, when he got that Pathfinder, I thought it was going to be like a little robot or something. And I was super excited for that. And then it didn't do anything. And I was really sad. Yeah, I thought he was going to have a robot companion up there. And I was totally on board for that.
That would have been so fun.
Yeah, because we had, there was another one that was up there on Mars. Was it just called the rover? What? Do you remember that? It was on Mars, and we used to take pictures.
In the book or like real life?
No, in real life.
Oh.
It might have been called rover, actually.
Yeah, that's the only term that I've ever heard it as.
And it was, the Mars rover. It has to have a name. They always do name stuff.
Probably.
But I thought it was going to be like that, and it would just like, I've been searching Mars too,
Or like if he saw it like coming towards the hab and stuff, like what is that? And it gets there and
and he's like, oh my gosh, perfect timing,
Yeah. Oh, that would have been fun. Now I'm like really bummed that didn't happen. Or that could have been the Martian.
Yes, the little like it's been like that's what I thought. I was like, this little Pathfinder's been lost for so many years, and now he found it, and it's gonna like be a sentient being, have little ideas and stuff. I don't know.
I love that. That needs to happen. Rewrite the book, Andy.
Rewrite the book.
All right. So I feel like I know this answer, but would you read from this author again?
Yes. I definitely want to read Project Hail Mary. I don't think I want to read Artemis because I haven't heard great things from that. And the people that have said that have read both The Martian and Project Hail Mary. So I'm like, if that one's below that, then I don't even want to try that.
Yeah.
But I would definitely like to read Project Hail Mary.
Yes. I would highly, highly recommend. I think I saw, I'm pretty sure I looked this up, so I hope I'm not lying, but I'm pretty sure I did see that he is working on another book.
Nice.
But I don't remember when it's supposed to come out or what it's about. And maybe I'm thinking of a different author, but I'm pretty sure I had heard that.
I kind of hope that it's not space related.
Really?
Just to see like what else he can do,
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. For me, there's only, I have to read Project Hail Mary to decide this, but for me, there's only so much I can get out of a space book.
Yeah. Especially if it's like one person stranded in space, having to kind of deal with
and there's no aliens or anything. Yeah. Like if he introduces aliens into it, I might be more on board.
Yeah.
Make it like a Star Trek type thing where there's like human contact and everything. So
yeah. So it just depends on what he puts out next. Yeah, I would have to agree. Because I have not seen great things about Artemis.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the rating isn't that high. So I probably won't read that, but I just don't see it getting better than Project Hail Mary. So, but I would give it a chance, for the next thing that comes out.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your final rating?
So I'm not going to do a half star.
Okay.
So instead of doing a half star, I think I want to give it 4 stars.
Okay.
Yeah. I like I said, the first 10% was rough. And then but like I said, I loved Apollo 11, one of my favorite movies growing up. So I loved that it reminded me of that. I thought he was funny. And then when they brought his crew back into it, I liked that. So I enjoyed it. And it was enough to keep me going throughout. And I thought his personality was just really well suited. So I gave it 4 stars.
Good.
Yeah.
So I initially gave it 1 star. I was so mad.
Yeah.
Like, that was the most boring.
Oh no.
Stagnant space story where absolutely nothing happened whatsoever. So yeah, I was pretty heated when I finished this book this morning.
Oh my gosh.
But, yeah. But after discussing it, especially now that it was like explained, and I think at the point where the rescue is kind of happening, I was starting to check out.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I was so like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So now that it was kind of like better explained to me, like, well, they couldn't have just immediately turned back around to get him.
Yeah. I don't think they could have.
Yeah, that makes me feel a little bit better. However, I still think if they would have told them right from the get-go, it could have saved a lot of time.
So much time. They could have done something, you know. Yeah. I did think that was annoying.
Yeah. So, but yeah, between that and like just a lot of good points that you brought up kind of made me see like, okay, yeah, no, I did like that part and I like this part too. So I am going to bump it up to 2 stars.
Nice. Still not a favorite, but better than 1.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I might give it a 4 on a reread, but back when I read it, it was definitely 5. Okay.
That's what I was kind of thinking. I was like, I wish I'd read it when it was just coming out because of all the hype and everything. It would have been less hyped. You know, I wouldn't have had such high expectations. Because to me, like I said, I don't really want to give it half star. It's like a 3.5 to 4 for me.
Okay.
And it's mostly because of just like how it ended and how he like brought up hope and everything. And also like, just like the funny quips. I did like that. I was just reading some of the quotes that I really liked where he's like, he says, I thought one of my favorite things that happened was when they realized he was alive and the one person's like, wonder how he's doing, like wonder what's going through his brain right now. And then the next one is him. He's like, how come Aquaman can control whales? They're mammals. That makes no sense.
Yeah, that was funny.
I just started laughing so hard. There was like that one. And then he was talking about something and he's like, this plutonium is much more dangerous. He says, using advanced constructional, he says, I'm using advanced constructional tactics, duct tape. It was like, and that was like the thing, he fixed some things with duct tape. I was like, oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I like those quotable times. Those were really fun.
Yeah, so far this year, I've been tabbing all the books for the book club.
Yeah. Nice.
I only have 2 tabs. I don't even have 2. There's one right there and one right there.
At the beginning, I had nothing at the beginning.
Now, let me tell you what it is that I marked. The first is, and I'm going to change the verbiage a little bit. So this is where he's talking about the Martian soil, trying to get it ready for the plants, having to use his own waste. Mm-hmm. He's like, my butthole is doing as much to keep me alive as my brain.
That is very, very well put.
Yeah. So that one. And then what is this one? Oh, when they were talking about the Council of Elrond.
Oh, I did like that. That was pretty cool.
I marked that. And I was like, yay, Lord of the Rings reference.
I know. I liked that one. I also liked another one where they were like, hey, he was communicating with them at Space Control, I think you're gonna call it. Like he was talking to them and they're like, hey, like you can't say that on here. This is being broadcasted. And he's like, look, a pair of boobs. And he like drew boobs. It's like, you're so childish, but I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. He was a character.
He got us through.
Oh boy. Wait till you see the movie. Okay. I am excited to see the movie, and I'm pretty sure I'll like that a lot more than I like the book. So,
is there a lot of poop in it?
the casting was brilliant for that scene. Oh, good.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Yeah, it'll be nice because, like, obviously there's other people, other characters in this book, but it's like, I don't know. It was hard for me to really picture anybody. So I
It's
think,
funny because I wasn't really picturing anybody,
Mhm,
but then I looked them up. Well, actually, I had one person in mind,
mhm.
and I looked it up, and he was in it. And it
Really?
was that guy for Martinez.
Okay.
It was, what's his name? The guy in Ant-Man, his like sidekick in Ant-Man.
Uh,
Pena, something, his first
that's what
name.
I was just gonna say. Is it Michael Pena?
Yes, it is. It's Michael Pena. And so, like, it was exactly what was in my head. And then I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, that is so perfect. I love that guy.
I love that guy too. I fan cast him in so
cute.
many books.
Yeah, he's so funny. So
Mhm.
funny. But
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
I definitely had him casted as Martinez.
Good. Oh, that's exciting. I
Yeah.
didn't realize, like, the only person that I know that's in that movie is Matt Damon because I haven't,
Yeah.
like,
I looked
looked
it
him
up after and it's like, oh my gosh, you'll love this. Sean Bean
up.
is one of the guys.
Oh, there.
He is, I think he's Michael, or not Michael, Mitch.
Oh,
He's
so the guy we don't like.
I think so, which is just so spot on for Sean Bean. And just like, I'm surprised he doesn't die, like, so he's in it.
Mhm.
Jessica Chastain
Okay.
is Lewis,
Mhm.
which I don't know if I would really, like, I'm ambivalent to her being that.
Yeah. Didn't she play in the Matthew McConaughey Interstellar? Wasn't she the daughter?
Is
Or am
she
I
the
thinking of
daughter?
somebody else? I might be thinking of somebody else.
Oh, Bryce. Something Bryce.
Bryce
Down.
Dallas Howard?
Is that who's in it?
I don't think so.
In Interstellar?
I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Or maybe I'm just being
I know that Anne Hathaway's in that, right?
maybe. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Jessica Chastain.
Oh, is it her? Okay.
She's the daughter of him?
Yeah.
Are they
Okay.
like,
So that is
how,
what I was thinking.
how old are they apart? Like 10 years? 15 years?
Have you not seen that movie?
No, I haven't.
Oh. Well, watch the movie. It'll make sense.
Okay, because he's 55, she's 48.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm guessing somebody doesn't age. That would make sense.
You'll just have to watch the movie.
Okay. I'm like, he must just not age. Oh yeah, Anne Hathaway was in that one.
Mhm.
But who else was in this one? Kate Mara, I think, was. I can't say the name again. I keep on wanting to say Josephine, but it's
Johansson.
Johansson.
Yeah.
For like Vaughn, right?
Vogel.
Yeah. I definitely didn't have like anybody particularly in mind, but like his face I could picture the most just because of his accent. I was just like, I love this guy. He's my favorite. I wonder who's that one. But yeah, I didn't have much casted other than the one person kind of, and it was him. I was like, yes, awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. My favorite thing that I pretty much love everything I've seen him in, but like as far as humor goes, that Chips movie with Dax Shepard.
Oh yeah.
Where he has to like pick him up out of the tub or something.
Yeah. He's
like,
also
smashed
been
in
in
the
ones with like, was he in Pineapple Express or something?
I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've seen that.
He's been in some, and they were like, hey, he has to say, ooh, what a woman, or something like that. And they're like, before doing that, make your fart noise. And they're like, the director tells him, and he does this thing where he like, I can't even do it. He goes like that, but like puts his teeth on his mouth, and he does it really well. He's like, and so he kept on busting out laughing every time he did it, though. He would do it, and he was just like, that's too good. And he was like laughing every single time. And I watched that just for the like serotonin of watching him do it, because it's so funny. And he thinks he's so funny. Oh, also,
Mhm.
Kristen Wiig as Annie, the PR person.
Seriously?
Yeah. I was like, I would not have casted her in that.
No. I kind of love that though.
I know. I was like, that's kind of fun. Jeff Daniels was Teddy.
Okay.
That's a pretty good one.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
So
said,
this is like a stacked cast.
it was like, oh yeah, Sebastian Stan was Beck.
Ooh.
So Sebastian Stan and Kate Mara are the ones that like are supposed to have gotten together.
Yeah.
So I was just like going in here. I was like, are you freaking kidding me?
Oh,
Daniel Glover is in this.
Is he really? Is that the Childish Gambino?
Yes,
Okay.
it is. I love him.
Yeah.
Like I said, Sebastian Stan. I was like, are you kidding me? Yeah. So it's a like you only see Matt Damon's face, but my gosh, is there a lot of people in this movie?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm 100% watching that movie this weekend because I have a 4-day weekend.
Ooh, yeah, that's right.
So I'm going to watch that. Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad I read it.
Yeah.
Because I've always wondered. It's always been on my list. What is it, like 2012?
Well, yeah. So I was looking at that. Well, first of all, I got distracted because I didn't even realize this. There's a map in the book.
Oh, shut up. I love a map.
Yeah. So there it shows like Schiaparelli.
Uh-huh.
And
I also bought the book this weekend.
Oh, did you?
Did not bring it up to Montana. I forgot. Oh. I was like, I can read it on the plane. Nope. Oh well. I got it for like $2, so it was fine.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I got this from Book of the Month long time ago because I joined them in 2017.
Okay.
But I think this particular edition came out in 2014, but it says original copyright 2011. So this is a lot older than
That's what I was thinking. It was like 12 or something like that.
Yeah.
It was 13 years old.
Yeah. So I mean, how old was I? I was 21. Good Lord, that's so long ago. So yeah, I bet if I would have read this way back then, I would have probably been mind blown.
Yeah, exactly. You'd be like, wow, listen to him. So smart, so sophisticated. Yeah. That was definitely worth it.
Yeah. The movie's great. Oh, I'm excited. So excited. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for being my co-host this month. That was fun.
It was fun.
Yes. So yes, everybody, like I said, please be sure to follow Yvette, follow her Instagram page, as well as Libronauts Instagram page and on Fable, because next month we are going to be reading Chain Gang All-Stars with Sam. She'll be the co-host next month. The live show is going to be October 1st, and it'll be back at our normal 7 p.m. Eastern time. So go ahead and pick up a copy, read along, add your thoughts in Fable. Yeah, so that is it. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you have an amazing evening, and we'll talk to you next month.